Hi, welcome to Sumery P. Today I want to share how to make a spelt sourdough loaf without a Dutch oven. I'm going to use 2 tins. These are my new tins that I've bought from IKEA, and I do a double method which steams the bread and you don't need a Dutch oven. And this is how the bread turned out. It's so delicious. The best way is to do an overnight cold proof in the fridge, but if you'd like to see the process, come with me and let's see. So the first thing I pop in is room temperature water. It's just tap water, 250 grams, 1 cup. And then I've got some active starter, 100 grams or half a cup. Then I add in 2 teaspoons of salt. And then I've got a combination of 150 grams or 1 cup of whole grain spelt. And I've got 350 grams, which is about 2 cups and a third of white spelt. That's just my balance that I like doing. And then I just mix those on the stand mixer with the dough hook. You can do it by hand. And I tend to mix it for about 5 minutes and I keep an eye on it. And I left 50 grams of the water, which is about 3 tablespoons, aside in case I need it. And I'm just looking and I do need it. So now I'm going to make sure my bowl looks clean and it's nice and smooth before I take it out. On the side here, I've got my medium glass bowl that I always use. I popped a bit of olive oil in there. Now I'm removing the dough. It's a really nice, slightly sticky, but not too sticky. And I'm just going to scrape out the excess from the bowl. I should have got the dough scraper out, but I was being lazy that day. So now I'm just stretching some of the dough from the sides to make sure it's really nice and coated with that oil. And I'm going to just flip it over at the end. Just so all that bit that I've squished to the middle is on the bottom and the smooth is on the top. And I'm going to cover it with some plastic. And I throw a couple of kitchen cloths over the top just so there's no air gaps. My kitchen's not super warm. It's about 21, 22 degrees. So I'm going to rest it for about 60 minutes. And I always make sure there's no windows open. This is my new loaf tin. And this was affordable from IKEA. A little bit bigger than some of my other loaf tins, but I found I could buy 2 of them and have them matching. So I've just brushed it with some vegan butter. And I'm adding half a thing of baking paper. And I like to leave it long on the sides. You'll see later I can grab that out, the cooked bread out really easily. So that's ready to go. 60 minutes later, the dough hasn't risen to the top of the bowl like it would with just fast yeast, but I'm pretty happy with how it's come out. It's got a nice spring to it. I've popped some rice flour on the bench as usual. Popping a little bit on top, just knocking gently some of that air out, and I'm folding it really roughly into a loaf shape. Placing it into my loaf tin. And just to seal that off to help it rise, I'm covering it with a recycled plastic bag. And I'm just going to seal the bottom with elastic band. I end up resting it for about 3 hours. So I'm covering it with cloths. And now it's time for bed. And I remembered that I need to pop this into the fridge. It has risen to the corners a little bit, but it's not to the top of the tin, but I don't mind. I think it'll be fine. So now I'm going to rest it in the fridge overnight. The next day, I got it out of the fridge, but before I got it out of the fridge, I preheated my oven to 230 degrees C with a fan. I'm removing the plastic, and I was pretty happy with how it looked. It didn't rise a great deal, but it looked like it spread into the tin more. I'm doing a really deep cut with this knife. It's a sharp knife. This is to help it expand and to look pretty on top. Now I need to do the matching tin on top. If you don't have matching tins, use what you've got, and if you're worried about how they seal, use bulldog clips like I've done, or you can also pop our foil all around it. Now I'm going to place this in the middle rack to the lower third, bake it for 30 minutes with the lid. Then after 30 minutes I removed it. I closed the oven door just to keep the heat in, and I took off those bulldog clips and the cover. So that's looking really good. That expansion cut worked out well. So I'm going to pop it back in and bake it for another 20 minutes. If you feel that your oven is too hot and you're worried about making it too brown on the top, turn your oven down slightly. So once it's cooked, I removed it, placed it on a rack, and then I grabbed the long sides of that paper to lift it out. Cover it with a cloth and rest it there until it's completely cooled. That took about 3 hours. So I've let my bread cool down completely. Took about 3 hours, so I'm now going to cut it in the middle. Let's have a look in the center. Wow, I've got a few bubbles, which is good. You will find with spelt flour you don't get quite as many bubbles as a wheat flour sourdough. Now I had a request from someone to cut it and put butter on it. My cutting skills are a bit funny at the moment because I have a problem with my hand. And I'm left-handed, so it might look a bit strange. I've just eaten lunch, so I'm not super hungry, but I'm going to cut this in half and try half for you. The first test I didn't do the overnight ferment. So now I've done the overnight cold proofing in the fridge. It actually creates more of a sour taste. I love the bread has like a super fine crust. I don't really like super crunchy bread. So for anyone out there that wants a super crunchy bread, this isn't super crunchy, but it's delicious. Perfect for toasting. The slices won't be too big. They'll be able to fit in the toaster. Let me know if you give this new recipe a go. Don't forget, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, jump over to suemarieP.com. If you want to become a member, you can get more recipes. And I also have an extra special Kitchen Plus membership where you get even more tips, more recipes, and there's only a small fee per year or per month. Thanks for watching. Hej då from Sweden.